The Chicago Bears have got a quarterback. That is the only thing that you need to know over the first 6 games of the NFL season. It's Caleb Williams is the guy. And I know a lot of people made a lot of dumb statements during the month of September. As a matter of fact, they were making dumb statements after 2 games, ready to write off a quarterback after 2 games into his NFL career. Now, I know this is the one thing that's great about the internet is that nobody ever has to take any sort of accountability or culpability or go out there and admit like, you know what, I might have gotten this wrong, because it was so preposterous that after 2 games, you were going to go out there and declare that this player was not good enough. Caleb Williams is definitely good enough. Caleb Williams showed today that there's a reason why he was the number 1 overall selection in this draft. He is the best quarterback that came out of this draft. He showed it today. There's a lot of great things going on with Chicago. And Sammy, let's go ahead and start the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Adam Ray.
It's Hester trying to work it back to the middle. Gets past the first wave, and here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
Brought to you by Circa Sports Illinois, the sickest Chicago Bears and fantasy football podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome, everybody, to the wrap-up edition of the Sick Podcast with Adam Rake. The Chicago Bears have defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 35-16 in London in a game that a lot of people, a lot of folks, even my friend Nerdstradamus, was sitting there talking about a trap game. As a matter of fact, the line flipped for this game. The Bears went into this contest as a 1.5 favorite. By the time they kicked off on Sunday, in some spots, I saw that they were down by a 1.5, and I hope you are not one of these people who looked at the injuries to the Bears defensive secondary and said, you know what, I got to go out there and make my picks. But I will let everybody, speaking of picks, I will let everybody know that the world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is right at your fingertips in Illinois. The Circa Sports app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Illinois and experience high betting limits, better moneyline splits, more in-game betting, and the best customer service anywhere. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro anywhere in Illinois. And if you or someone you know, if they have a problem with gambling, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234. So much to unpack here from the Chicago Bears victory. And we'll start at the quarterback position with Caleb Williams. He was fantastic. You know, there was a kid on Twitter earlier today because I had posted something about something. They were, it was a son from Tottenham Hotspur has a very distinct goal celebration. And I was like, hey, you know what? I don't, as an Arsenal supporter, I don't care for this. And somebody was like, well, don't expect much. Don't expect much from Caleb in this. I'm like, yeah, really? That's what you were going to go with? You didn't expect much from Caleb in a game where he was going up against a depleted Jags defense. And let's start with that. I understand it's everybody's natural instinct to not want to support a player who's not on your team, to just run your mouth and just talk garbage and not care. And listen, not have any nuance, not understand anything about ball, and you just want to talk S. And I get it. That's the nature of fans. Fans just want to run their mouths. They don't want to sit there and learn about the game. They don't want to know. They don't want to be educated or anything like that. You just want to sit there and make Caleb Williams jokes. And when he goes out there and struggles in 2 games, you just want to come out and be like, this guy's not good. I've already decided he's not good. It's kind of like Colin Cowherd the other day during the USC game. He declared a USC victory at halftime of a game they ultimately lost. and I'm not picking on Colin Cowherd here, but this is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit cautious about running my mouth too much before I'm 100% certain. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was something, there's just some things like, and again, for anybody who wanted to go out and bury Caleb Williams after 2 games, I knew it was foolish. He goes out, he throws for 300 yards against the Indianapolis Colts. People are like, those are empty calories. That doesn't really count because they lost. And you're like, okay, fine. Then he goes out and he beats the LA Rams. And as a matter of fact, Caleb Williams became a rare quarterback who has won his first 2 games against other NFL quarterbacks who were the number 1 overall pick. Trevor Lawrence was a number 1 overall pick. Matthew Stafford, who the Bears beat in Week 4, number 1 overall pick. I think there's 4 quarterbacks in NFL history. I think Terry Bradshaw was one of them. I think Troy Aikman was one of them, who, going up against a fellow number 1 overall pick, were victorious the first 2 times they tried that. So Caleb Williams goes out there and he beats the LA Rams. But again, it's odd. He just had 174 passing yards. Why are we really impressed? Should have been bigger. You're like, okay, fine. He goes out the following week. He beats the Carolina Panthers, throws for 300 yards, looks amazing. The Bears score over 35 points. What do we really have to bitch about at this point? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. It's the Carolina Panthers. It doesn't count. Okay, fair enough. Like, the deck is stacked against Caleb Williams at this point. There's really nothing he can do to really make anybody, to really appease anybody. Like, if you've already made your mind up about Caleb Williams at this point, if you just want to be this dismissive. Now, the following week, he goes to Jacksonville. And again, this is a team that's not, I wouldn't say they're one of the best teams in the NFL, but still, they're going out there and people are freaking out. People are like, this is a trap game. This is a trap game. Even me on Friday, we were sitting there with James Coe. I'm like, I'm confident. I'm picking the Bears to win this game, but still, like, it's Jacksonville in London. And despite the fact that it's a Chicago Bears home game, and we'll get to this in a moment, despite the fact that it's a Chicago Bears home game, I feel a little apprehensive because Jacksonville has done this previously. They have a lot of experience in going to Jacksonville, but still, I even said this is a game the Bears need to win. The Bears needed to win this game, whether you felt it was a trap game or not. The Bears go out, score over 35 points. Caleb Williams tosses for 4 touchdowns. Could have easily have been 5, but they did the right thing. Like, as much fun, and it was Eric Lambert who put this out there too, and I agree with this. As much fun as it would have been for Caleb Williams to go out there and get 5 passing touchdowns, the most important thing is to go out there and get the score, give the ball to DeAndre Swift, let him go out and do his thing. But still, the Bears are rolling. 35 points in back-to-back games, which I think is the first time they've ever done that since the NFL-AFL merger. I think you would have to go back to the 60s or 50s, and I'm not going to go look it up, but it's out there. Listen, it's since the merger. Usually when we get these notes from the NFL Network or the NFL research team, it's always like, since the merger. I'm like, what do you guys do? Like, did it happen in 1969 or did you just stop looking? Which is fine. I think, like, you get the point. Like, it's not that big. Whether it happened in 68 or it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's not happened very often for the Chicago Bears. Back-to-back 35-point games. And I think it's one of those things too where the offense scores 5 touchdowns. That might be another one of those qualifiers. But legitimately, like, this is the offense that we've been dying to see for quite some time. I remember going into the 2019 season after the Bears lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs. I remember going into that season thinking to myself, like, this needs, like, I want to see this offense start to, like, beat the brakes off teams, blow people out, just destroy them. And God bless Rich Eisen and the Kurt Warner, who, for whatever reason, and I don't know if they're in this shticky, like, nobody's going to watch anything. This is the most interesting thing to me is like, hey, Rich, this is the only game on, okay? Nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's going to watch any of the pregame shows. If there's an NFL game on, people are going to continue to watch it. Here's what people are watching for in the fourth quarter of a game where the Bears are leading by 5 scores. 5 scores! Or at least 4. At least 4 scores. Yeah, it's 24. It was 25 points. It's a 4-score game with 7 minutes to go. And Rich and Kurt Warner are sitting here trying to make it seem interesting. Like, oh, what if... Like, first of all, they're not doing anything against this Bears defense. Even as depleted as it is. It's a mismatch. And I know, like, hey, Jacksonville dropped a bunch of touchdowns, whatever. Cope harder. I don't care. You're not catching up, okay? You're not catching up in this game. It's a Bears runaway at this point. You don't need to sell us on, hey, if the Jags, and what are they going to do? Recover 3 onside kicks and try to get back into this? Like, it's not happening, okay? It's over. You don't have to try to keep, we're hooked. Because the people who are watching right now are the gambling addicts. It's the anybody who's got a fantasy squad. And it's, what is that thumb coming from? That was weird. If anybody saw a thumb, hit the like button. I guess that's what it was. Hit the like button. That's what we wanted. Just a reminder, hit the like button that you're enjoying this content that's going on right now. The Bears were running away with this one. And now I've forgotten my point. But, like, we don't need to, like, sell the drama. But this is the thing, though. Like, the Bears in back-to-back weeks have gone up against an opponent that they should beat. They should beat them, you know? And everybody's acting surprised or nonplussed that the Bears are doing that. And again, the copium's coming out, the haterade is being served, and people want to say, oh, well, call me when you beat. Like, who do you want them to beat? Like, nobody was making this distinction when the Commanders were going out there and beating these dog-ass teams and beating them. Like, everybody was still celebrating Jaden Daniels as a Hall of Fame player. They were already comparing him to Billy Kilmer and Joe Theismann and all those guys, Theismann, all those guys. Like, oh, look at this, the great lineage, Mark Rippon. Look at this great lineage. Who was that? Was Bobby Lane? No, that's Detroit. I'm trying to think of another old-timey Washington quarterback from back in the day. Sid Luckman was our guy. Whomever. Everybody was ready to say that Jaden Daniels was up there. Like, they were already debating. I think I saw an article, I think it was on Bleacher Report, where somebody was like, hey, has Jaden Daniels passed Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in NFL history? Like, I think we're going to have to start, we might want to stop those articles have to be put away. BuzzFeed cannot put out a poll this week for, hey, has Jaden Daniels passed Patrick Mahomes as the greatest quarterback in NFL history? I don't know. Maybe we stop those. Maybe that's a thing. But nobody was making that distinction when Jaden Daniels is beating the Bengals or whomever. But Caleb Williams goes out there, and Caleb Williams has looked way more impressive coming into this game. So on Sunday, Caleb Williams threw 4 touchdown passes. I believe coming into Sunday, Jaden Daniels had 4 touchdown passes on the entirety of the season. Now, he threw 2 today. I know because I was watching it. Because, by the way, props to Rip Beer Company for opening up its doors, for allowing us to do our thing at, 6:30 in the morning local time to go out there. But Caleb Williams went out there, has been much more impressive over the last couple of weeks. And now that I think after this game, we can pretty much say, like, yeah, the Bears made the right decision. There it is, Sammy. There's our headline, is Bears dominate, show Ryan Poles made the right decision. This is why Jaden Daniels didn't come in for an interview. We didn't need it. Okay? Caleb Williams has proven that. And again, like, it's probably foolish of me to sit here and make declarative statements after, what has it been, 6 games? to say that Caleb Williams is the best player, is the best guy for, and that's fair. I should take my own advice, but at the same time, Caleb is the number one guy. It's not like you're not trying to sell me on a 4th round quarterback being good. We're talking about the first overall selection. This is why he was selected first overall, and after the bye, he's going to get to go head to head against Jaden Daniels. And by the way, as great as Baltimore handled the Commanders today, I would say the Bears defense is better. The Bears defense is better. And if they get healthy, I know Kyler Gordon went off with a little bit of an injury. There were some other things going on. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Jaquan Brisker is ready to go when they return from the bye. We had Tyreek Stevenson out, Terrell Smith. Like, the Bears defense is going to look a lot better when they return and they face the Commanders. Oh, gosh. It's going to be good. It's so good right now. And then still, like, you think about this, the next stretch of games, Commanders, Panthers, Cardinals. If I'm getting this order correct, excuse me if I'm not. Actually, I could probably take a look. Do we have the Bears schedule here? Let me pull this up. Hold on, everybody. I was like, okay, so the Bears schedule. Go ahead and pull this up. So it's at Washington. God, 2 road games. What the hell? What the hell schedule? I tell you, this guy. Like I say, it's not our Mike North. It's not the good Mike North that we've a Chicago legend. It's another Mike North that works for the NFL. At Washington, at Arizona, after being on the road in London, which allegedly was a home game. By the way, props to the fans out there in London. God, showing out. Even the Bears players made notice of this. And we have the Commanders at Washington, at Arizona. I will be there on November 3rd. At home for New England, and then at home against Green Bay, which, you know what? I'm not going to get too far ahead of ourselves on this one. I was trying to contain my... We talked about this. We're going to be so excited going into that game. Who knows what's going to happen at that point. But still, it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, want to point out that the Keenan Allen thing we've been talking about all week, it happened. Pair of touchdowns. That hit. Cole Kmet, props to him. By the way, Windy City Sports Cards, I took that Cole Kmet card, and I guess this is a good time to remind you, at Windy City Sports Cards, they specialize in buying and selling all things related to Chicago sports, whether you are a diehard fan of the Bears, Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, Blackhawks, or Sky, they've got you covered with an extensive selection of sports memorabilia and collectibles. In addition to their Chicago-focused items, they also offer a vast collection of sports trading cards and memorabilia from your favorite teams and players. And while I'm thinking of it, do want to let you know that if this doesn't have you resting easy, this Bears victory, the Manta sleep mask is the most comfortable sleep mask you could ever imagine. I did not wear it on Saturday night because I was worried about oversleeping because I had to get up early for the Bears game. But the Manta sleep mask is incredible. If you ever want your best night of sleep, you will go out and get a Manta sleep mask. Go to mantasleep.com, use the promo code SICKBEARS, and you will get 10% off your offer. I cannot endorse that enough. And I cannot say this too, by the way, Keenan Allen killed that call. Told everybody. By the way, I'm wearing my Keenan Allen jersey. For those of you who are listening to the audio version of this only, I am wearing a Keenan Allen jersey. If you're on YouTube, you see that, hit the like button. If you see me holding up this Keenan Allen jersey, hit the like button. You know it's a Johnny Knox jersey. But still, it doesn't matter. We're repping the 13 for the Chicago Bears. He was out there. He played excellent. This is everything we wanted out of Keenan Allen. I thought that when they talked about this early on, about the race to 1,000, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like the idea of the race to 1,000 because DJ Moore is probably going to get there. Roma Dunze is going to come on at the end of the season, and Keenan Allen is going to be our third down guy who breaks people's hearts and gets into the end zone, which is exactly what he did today. For somebody who had 2 touchdowns, fantasy-wise, not as prolific as you would think, still very good. If you started Keenan Allen today in fantasy football, you did quite well, but at the same time, it's not like the prolific game where you're like somebody who has 120 receiving yards with 10 receptions, where that's just like Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin did that today against the New Orleans Saints. But Keenan Allen was very good. And by the way, shout out, we'll talk about this later in the week, but shout out to Matt Eberflus getting that 3rd consecutive win. We had some questions about him, but here's the thing. Go out there, enjoy this victory as much as you can. You deserve it. Great effort by the Chicago Bears. We'll see you Monday night on CHGO.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcast. Brought to you by Circa Sports Illinois.